Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of our video. My name is Alexis, and do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Nicole and I'm from the YouTube channel Life as a Law Student.
Yeah, so we decided to do a collab video. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you click the link below and go to her channel and see part 1. And we're going to just jump right into the rest of the questions. Okay, so I've been getting a few questions on my channel about what the difference is between undergrad and law school. So like the biggest difference that I've noticed so far, I've only been in law school for about 2 months, but I have noticed a few things. So the way that you do homework is totally different. In undergrad, I had a lot of assignments, papers, like many things within my semester, not as much reading, or at least reading that you had to do. In law school, it's totally all readings that you have to do, you don't have to, but
I was just saying, you don't have
to want to. And hardly any assignments. I've heard that there are more assignments because we are online and teachers just want to check in. So I've had a few, but none worth a substantial amount of points. So the most points that you'll get are midterms and finals. So 2 tests basically determine your grade. That's the biggest difference I've noticed, but you've been in law school for 2 years, so why don't you tell us what we're missing?
Yeah, well, first of all, at WashU, we actually only have pretty much the one final exam, which is the entirety of the grade. There's a little bit of variation, but I'd say 90% of the classes and professors put your whole entire grade into one freaking test at the end of 4 months.
Lovely.
So that's definitely different than undergrad. There's also a difference in, the entertainment value of the homework. Law school homework can get really old really fast, especially, feel free to disagree with me. Everyone has different opinions on what they like and don't. Another big difference that I noticed, which had a lot to do with my personal undergrad experience and probably would not apply to everybody, was having come from a pretty small college. I had a lot of personal interaction with my professors and the departments that I was working in or getting a degree from, and those connections were really important to me. I'm still friends with a lot of my professors from college, and I don't have that with anyone in law school.
So speaking of undergrad, did you go straight through? Did you take a gap?
Yeah, a little bit of both, not really intentionally. I graduated in December of 2018. So a semester early, and you can't really start law school the next semester. And even if you could, would not recommend that. That'd be quite a jump over a 3-week period of holidays. So I ended up starting the next fall, which would have been fall of last year in 2019. The good times before the world went crazy.
Yes.
And I had this weird 8-month period, which wasn't ideal. I think that you should pick one or the other. I think you should either have a year or more to get some work experience, especially if you're not sure that you want to go to law school yet. Don't go to law school if you're not 100% confident.
Absolutely.
It is not worth it for you.
Yeah.
Or just do the one summer.
So I went straight through. I graduated during the times of coronavirus in May, and then I went to school starting in August, so I had the 3-month gap that she's talking about. So what kind of pre-law activities or experiences did you get during your undergrad?
I gotta think back first. Well, I didn't do anything like a pre-law certificate. Personally, sorry if you did one.
No.
I think they're a waste of time.
Okay, so for me, I did quite a few things. I was in the pre-law association at my undergrad. It was mostly helpful to get exposure to law schools and figure out what each law school had to offer. We did a few visits to law schools in the area, so that was nice. I also did a few internships. My first one was at the Madison County Courthouse in Edwardsville. That one I was an AmeriCorps volunteer. I can go more in depth into my internship experiences, but it would be a whole video. And then my next one was an internship with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Fairview Heights. And so, I feel like pre-law, I wanted to build off what you said, with the pre-law track. I never did that. I chose to take classes that were more interesting to me just because it really doesn't matter. Like, everyone starts at the same place in law school. Whatever criminal classes you took in undergrad don't really help you, like, unless you, like, did a case brief. That might be a little bit of background, but really
you
everyone...
have to relearn.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because each teacher kind of wants a different thing anyway. So just, I think if it interests you to take pre-law classes, you can go ahead and do that. But I definitely don't think it's necessary.
So I actually saved the most important experience that I did until you were done.
Yes.
I held off for a second. I actually did mock trial for 5 years. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to do mock trial in college as well because of that experience. But where I went to college, at Wheaton College in the Chicago area, they had a very competitive team. But the focus there was much more competitive. And so I didn't have as great of a time.
Okay, so I am a St. Louis native. I've been in St. Louis my whole life, so I kind of want to see what you're thinking about St. Louis. You've been here for about 2 years, so...
Yeah. I mean, a year and a couple months. Okay. Because we're starting the second year.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to, insult your hometown.
No, but I hear plenty of it. Go ahead.
It's not my favorite place. And, I can't lie about it because I've said that before publicly. It's not my favorite city in the world. Part of it is because I'm from areas that are just so different than St. Louis. And so it's just not what I'm used to. So that's a lot of it. The Los Angeles area has obviously a lot more to do. It's it's bigger. There's more people. You can go. I'm not a big beach person, but you can go to the beach, or you can go to the mountains, or you can go to a lake, or go to the desert, or Las Vegas is a couple hours away, or you can go to San Francisco or down to San Diego. It just never ends. California and the LA area never ends, and there's always stuff to do. Chicago is pretty similar. I lived in a little college town, but the city was just 45 minutes away by train. And there's always shows coming through, or plays, or whatever, college events. I mean, just living on a college campus is fun.
Yeah.
Grad school in St. Louis does not have as much to do, especially now. There's literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
Things. It's just not a place I see myself staying longer than necessary.
Yeah, I totally feel you, but I'm the total opposite. I honestly have never left St. Louis for more than 4 months and been more than 30 minutes away.
Where did you go for 4 months?
So I studied abroad in Paris for 4 months.
Okay.
So then
that's
I was
amazing.
Far from St. Louis. But then my undergrad, I went to somewhere just right across the river that was 35 minutes away. So it was close enough that I was always back in St. Louis, but St. Louis is my home base. My family's here. Everyone that I love is in St. Louis. So it's just, I can always find something to do, because if there's nothing to do, I can go to my grandma's house, I can go to my parents' house. Sure. It's just always felt like home for me. And when I go to Chicago, my sister lives in Chicago now, so when I go visit her, it just feels insane. I feel like St. Louis is a happy medium for me. Chicago, I spend way too much money, way too much time trying to get to places. I just feel like
You're
nothing is...
I don't disagree.
Yeah, no. I just feel like it's never convenient. So, I feel like the big city life is not one for me, but I do like a medium-sized city that, there's stuff to do when you want. So, bringing it back to law school, we're going to talk about expectations that I had versus the experience that she's had. So this is going to be kind of skewed because my expectations, I went in during coronavirus, so my expectations, regardless, were probably never going to be met. But so I had the typical expectation of how to get away with murder, sitting in a big lecture hall, the teacher's up there talking and drilling facts at you, and I thought I was going to be nonstop writing. But so far, my experience, I'll let you tell us about yours. The teacher does talk nonstop, but there's also a lot of periods where people ask questions. And some of the stuff, you don't have to write down everything, because you have an overview of the class and you know what's important in theory, you know what's important to take out of each class. So the other things you don't have to write down.
I have heard a lot of comparisons to How to Get Away with Murder, and it drives me nuts.
Really?
It's so inaccurate. There are hypotheticals. You're not going to start with them on day one. There might be a hypo, but it's not this random fact pattern. You don't even know how to read a casebook yet. And
Yeah.
the professors know that. You're going to get pretty softball questions the first couple weeks of school, which I'm sure you've experienced.
Yeah.
They're like, what are the facts of the case? Like, did you do the reading? It's not until later.
Yeah, I just recently started having like actual hypos that like we're supposed to actually know stuff for.
You're not going to have to apply anything or know the analysis or the reasoning. I mean, you should try, but you don't have to know that until later in the class or in following semesters.
I'm trying to think, did I have any other expectations?
What about like your daily or social life?
Oh,
I definitely had some.
Yeah, I totally thought that I would have no time for anything besides homework. Like I thought I would be doing homework from sunrise to sunset. I live with my boyfriend, so I thought that like we would only see each other in passing. Like I didn't really think that we were going to be able to spend time together, that I was never going to see my family, just because of how people talked to me about it. They were like, yeah, you're not going to have any free time, so get used to it. So far, that hasn't been my experience, but I want to see how your 1L was since you were in person.
Yeah, I think it changes depending on how much time you want to give to law school. I don't think you need to live that kind of life. I know people who do choose to live that kind of life because those are the people who are like, I need to be in the top 5% of my class. I need to get like a big law partnership in 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's just couldn't be me. So I think you really do get out of law school what you put into it. What my experience in 1L was a lot of trying to figure out that time management and just forcing myself to take time off too.
All right, guys. Well, that was all we had for you. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you watched hers first. If you did, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you thought. And have a good day.